guys, hello and welcome to Media Mentor. This is Pooja Gupta. But today there's someone special joining this show, and he is Paradeep from Chennai. Now, let me give you a little brief about him. Hi Paradeep, welcome to Media Mentor.
Yeah,
This is your
thank
first show
you.
with me. And
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
you're most welcome, and thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
This guy is an UPSC aspirant. Not only that, he also mentors student who is preparing for UPSC and IS exams. So you can understand his intellectual level, and he's really good with his knowledge and all the current affairs. So I thought, why not invite him to the show and let's discuss about a lot of things. So we will be doing this segment every week. We'll be picking up most of the topics which are in news and try to analyze and talk about and give you more of the detail so that you understand the whole issue better. Not only what this person is talking and that person is talking, we'll give you some of the data, some of the information which as a student you can use it for your research paper, you can use it for your answers and a lot more. So let's start with our first the video which we're doing together. So Pardi, as I've already told you that we'll be discussing today on the most the spoken or the most hot topic, as I can say, on the internet and all across the country as well. Not only country, I can say globally also. It's China, which is making news for so many months, and after the pandemic, you can understand what China has done to the world.
Yes.
But today we'll be narrowing down to India's action. I mean, how India recently banned 59 Chinese apps, right? So there's a lot of questions to it. Somebody is pro this decision, somebody is anti. So we'll try to, discuss and understand. And I would like to know a lot of input from you as you research and read about it. Just a brief to start with. That whole issue came into, there was an issue or the sentiment going on that we should boycott China because China is the one who's spreading the virus to the global platform, and they are not the country country to be trusted upon. Then came Sonam Wangchuk's video, where he spoke about boycotting the Chinese app.
Boycotting Chinese products, yes.
So the whole sentiment, if you see, was gradually built up, right? And then the sudden move from the government came when all the sentiment was the people were talking about banning all the products and everything. And as we analyzed and said, okay, how much feasible, not feasible. But this was the biggest shock to most of the people, and a majority of the people are happy that, India made its first move by banning not only one, but 59 Chinese apps. Right? And it's like a big thing. It's not like something like a lighter decision. It is actually a major decision. So what do you think? Was it a political move or like a diplomatic move? What you have to say about it?
Yeah, according to me, I think it has an more diplomatic sense than a political sense.
Okay.
And literally, it has some kind of political gimmicks within in it, but which other interested in deep. And everything is up to my opinion. What I think is that it has a political, there is a diplomatic phase, but in ground it has some political sense actually. We should see this issue as an not only as Chinese, and good reply to Chinese intrusion, what happened in Galvan Valley. It should be seen as an entire thing what India is trying to bring up in the its people in the minds of the people about the opinion on China. So that is what my opinion about this issue, and it is more about of diplomatic thing in this video, and we can say it is more of diplomatic.
Okay, so it's more of diplomatic, not a political stance. You believe that way. So when we talk about banning an app, do you think it's a solution? I mean, banning an app, we have economically tried to hit, like, the way social media or the media is reacting, or the people are reacting, that, will actually, hit China badly. What do you think economically? How much China is impacted with this?
No, China is not even a single percentage impacted by this. This is if this is quite a good reply would have been banning like apps or platform like Alibaba, because they are making like very big money and they are much pumped into it, and most people.
Yeah.
And things like TikTok and other things are like, it is very usual. If today TikTok is not there, tomorrow they are going to use Dub Smash or something else. So it is just it isn't just
Yeah, that's what. Like, why AliExpress is not on the list? So what about AliExpress? Like,
AliExpress and Alibaba both are like they are giants who are running most of the companies, and we also need to know that the biggest companies like which is present in India, like Paytm, Swiggy, Ola, and
they have Chinese investment.
Have a very significant amount. Yeah, even Flipkart. They have
Chinese investment.
Chinese investments in India.
Right.
India is not talking about banning of Chinese investments rather than Chinese manufactured apps. These apps are just from Chinese manufacturer, and no way these companies are directly related with the Chinese government. But India speculates that the data being collected from here have some that is potential, so that it can be misused by the Chinese government. That is being told as the basis of this whole issue of banning the 59 apps.
Okay. When we talk about, as you said, not even 1% China is getting impacted economically, right? And I guess most of the people who have done an analysis on economics will have the same say that, this app banning is not hurting their pockets. Economy. Economy, right? So why people like Sonam Wangchuk or all this, there was a whole agenda of wallet power versus bullet power. Do you think that even have some stance in it? I mean, why is that so powerfully?
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. See, this is the prime issue actually we want to discuss here. Is that the first thing is that people are not aware that how China is intruding the entire world. Actually, right now, just before discussing this issue, China has claimed a famous Russian city called Vladivostok. It is in the entire northeastern part of Russia, closer to China. Chinese claim that because it belongs to old dynasty, they claim that city they belong to China. So see this thing. It basically with respect to India alone, if we see China in the last few years, in the last 5 years at least, in the recent time, it is encircling India. It is intruding in Arunachal Pradesh. It is intruding. From there in Sikkim, in Doklam Valley, it was an issue.
It was an issue. Galwan Valley,
So now like in Sikkim also they are intruding. From Sikkim, if you see, they use Nepal as a buffer state between their territory and Indian territory. They instigate some feeling within the Nepal government, and they are trying to give some pressure to Indian government. And apart from that, and now you see it is in Galwan Valley. So what the thing is that people are not much have a sense of enmity on Chinese when it compared to the Pakistan, because if you say something about Pakistan, historically we have some problem with Pakistan, but when it comes to China, we don't have that kind of mindset. The Indian government, for a common audience or a common layman, if it want to say that China is not our so friendly country, we have some issues with it, so it need to give some sense of opening. So what it did was, like, in India, TikTok is being used by 100 million users. So 100 million user is kind of a few nations only have the population below 100 million.
Exactly.
So So when it comes to impact the life of 100 million people in a very single move, so Indian government take this as a very good move to sprout the kind of nationalism, one thing. And other thing is to advertise we are no more friends towards the Chinese companies.
Yeah.
So this is the reason they are using like people like Sonam Wangchuck and others to understand that thing is that we are not closer with China, and China is no way our friend.
No way our friend. Yeah. But see, the other issue is also there that, in recent times, like from when this whole issue has started, the main problem which I have seen is the mainstream media and our government is not talking clearly. They are mentioning that, nobody entered our territory. There's no no war or asset situation. We have safeguarded our land, so there is no Chinese intrusion happen. But when we look at the satellite images, and some of the retired army officers have clearly said that Chinese army has entered the Indian, LAC, and they have occupied it, and they are now claiming as their land, claiming that particular place as their land. So, as an audience or as an Indian citizen, we actually don't know what is the situation. I mean, whether it's Chinese have occupied it, or to believe the government who is saying no, Chinese have not entered anywhere. So it's like a big question mark if you see. So what do you think, how we should look at the whole issue? I mean,
the other thing is that particular thing is with the map. Actually, the map which we use in our day-to-day schools, colleges and everything, it is not clearly demarcated the area of Kashmir. Actually, the Kashmir area, which is toward the northeastern side, it is being already occupied by China. It is like after the Indo-Chinese war in 1960s. Even after that, China has intruded there. It is holding a piece of territory over there. So between that territory and actual Indian territory, where the armies are placed right now, they are demarcated in a way that it is called a actual line of actual control. So now what happened is that someone has intruded. That is not intrusion has happened. Thing is that this is not new. Even you can see people who go and just Google and see, at least once there will be some incident of stone pelting between the either armies. They used to stone pelt, or they used to confront with war of words. It used to happen. But it used to happen. They used to clearly mention that it is like it is. They used to mention that it is happening in the Pangong Lake area. So now, particularly in one area, what happened is that China started to camp their tent over there. Chinese armies started to camp their tent. So few of the Indian army went into confrontation. That is what actually happened. The problem is that still there area belongs to India. So people like when the national media says that Chinese intrusion has happened, people used to think that in entire Kashmir Chinese people have entered. But it is not in that way. This entire scenario has happened in an area which is already in kind of an issue between the both nations. So we need to see it in that way.
In that way only I'm saying that, where people like the Chinese are claiming Indian army started it first, and then, India is claiming, Indian government is claiming that, Chinese army first entered. So it's all a confusing thing for the people. And what we are looking as is more sentimental way. Like, as a citizen of the country, we are running on the sentiments, We are like, ban Chinese app, we should not do this. As you said, Flipkart got so much of investment. Now, when you talk about, they are planning to ban MI phones, right? What about OnePlus? OnePlus is not in the list of banning. So,
because it is used by most of the politicians and most of the people who are to use it of our country in a long way. Because if you see the total of the sales count of the both phones, majority of the phones is being sold by MI. If you ban it, people might be directly get impacted. Instead of that, what they might tell is that Realme is kind of a company which is being funded by OnePlus. So they can use that option.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that OnePlus and all these things. So coming back to our app thing again. That do you think all these apps, like what I was reading and today itself, like before we start recording, there was one news came wherein the TikTok owner has issued a statement to the Indian TikTok employees that we will definitely fight for making a coming back, and there are a lot of legalities which we need to do, but we will be back. We'll try to be back for sure. So, what do you think legally these apps can make a comeback?
Yeah.
Is there a possibility, like
Yeah,
whatever?
definitely. Yeah. There are so much of possibility, and we like with respect to the apps. In this case, what I see is that, in my opinion, it is a right. It is an initiate. It has initiated a very good new move, which is not prevalent already. So there is a committee which is made by Justice called B.N. Krishna in 2017 or 18. What it recommended was it recommended few guidelines for the data privacy.
Yeah.
With talking with the ban of apps, the statement which is given by the government, it is stated that these apps have threat to the data privacy and integrity of the nation. Your data is at stake. That is the reason claimed by the government for banning these 59 apps. With respect to this, if we see, B.N. Krishna committee has recommended that there should be data localization. If data is collected from one particular territory, it should be stayed and stored in one particular territory. And it also recommended a data protection authority to be set up. Another thing what it recommended was, like, the users who are the owners of the data should also given rights to know where their data is being used. And the thing is that they can manipulate their own data if it is needed. So that is what these recommendations given by the Krishna committee. And after that, there was no great leap in the actions of the government regarding. But this is the first time government has taken some measure in that way. Since it is, we don't know whether it is the motive of the government or not. But in this area, with respect to the term which is being measured by the government statement that because of the data privacy and other data-related threats, we can connect it with the B.N. Krishna committee. So when coming to the TikTok's legal application, that while addressing the legal issues which is being pointed by the Indian government, we are going to come back. That can happen. That can happen for sure. They can, because there are talks with these companies. So definitely they need to address their data issues which are underlying there. So they can have a comeback. That is for sure. That is not going to be the case here.
Okay, so that is what the whole thing was, and how it started, how the things went, the government decisions and everything. And recently, there's a lot of developments happening. As you know, Modi went to Ladakh, and he's talking about something. Today only this happened, and as the statement issued by all these apps. So definitely, there's a chance, or there's a legal stance. Yes, these apps can make a comeback, right?
Yeah.
So we can conclude with that. Yes, we can always discuss about how and what will happen next, because this story is something which will keep on developing. This is
developing.
It is a developing story, and we don't know how and what is the next step, because it totally depends on what are the legalities. As the government is not clear about if the app is there in my mobile phone. So what will happen to that? It might become it will not function as per, because the permissions will not be granted. But it will be interesting to see that how whole legal things will take its shape. And secondly, how the product ban. I mean, there's a lot of investment of Chinese company and everything is there in our country. So obviously the second move will go to the company investment. Then the third will be on the products. As we people are very much eager about MI phone being banned, and that will be, I think, if the development happens, we'll discuss that in the next week issue, that why OnePlus and this is
before
in the
that
issue.
I have a kind of a point which I wanted to say. what government would have done is that it might have issued some regulations, like some guidelines to the people who are using these apps, because it is not used by some 5 million, some 2 million or a million people. It is about 10 million.
10 million.
Government would have issued some kind of guidelines that it should be followed. Please don't use such kind of ad, because because this is not new. Even with the Zoom app, it has given
exactly.
guidelines.
Zoom, the government gave a clear guideline, but when it came to these apps, it suddenly took this decision. So it is somewhere about the people's willingness to not use it.
Example is the recent the recent example is also with the sprinkler controversy, which happened in Kerala government. Even as a state government, Kerala government has issued guideline for a US based company to protect the data which are being collected from the COVID patients. So if that is possible by a state government, whether it won't be possible by a central government would have done it already. Even if the plans are on cards, these companies might have strengthened their loopholes, and they have with the legality even before this ban has been happened. So there have been possibilities. Now what happened is, like, there is a crack between the actual investments which are coming to India based on this kind of corporates, because there is a question of ease of doing business here right now.
If
this is happening to Chinese apps, then if it is happening to some Russian app, or if it is happened to, because even in Blue Whale, while Blue Whale was there, if the government tried to ban it in somehow, but for an app as a whole, this is the first time it is happening as a whole nation. This is facing right now. The other thing is that if this is for China right now, then if we have some issue in future with USA, they might ban Twitter, they might ban Facebook,
YouTube, they might ban Facebook, YouTube. It'll become like India can also become like a second China, that China has banned all those apps, right? Stating that it's actually hurting our integrity and nation, all these things. So it can happen if there's some things like that. So that also comes as a big question.
What as authoritative with people, because this is being a democratic state, they have given us options or choices. So what we should do, and it is with our hands. It is like initially. At least initially, not solely. It should give the power to the people. At least initially, if it said it, it might be more welcoming than this. Even it is now being welcomed by so much of people, but it will be more welcomed by every sector of people.
Every sector of people, true. Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I mean, if we talk about this, we can go on and on. But as we have to sum up with this. The whole topic was whether TikTok can make a comeback or no. But thank you, Paridhi, that you enlightened us on so many points. I mean, there was like sprinkler controversy and all those things, which I guess will make aware a lot of people that these are also things which is going side by side. So what we are planning to do, guys, that we'll put up the links in our description box so that you can go and refer to all the cases we have spoken about. So it will help you to get better understanding, as I said. So, we'll try and keep doing such informative video, right, Paridhi? We will be doing
definitely. We will. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, every week we'll be coming up with the issues like this so that we can discuss. And anybody wants to write any comment below that we missed out on some point, or we should have also discussed this in a certain way, you can definitely feel free to write in the comment below. All the suggestions are most welcome. So thank you for watching, guys, and I think you will definitely watch our coming episodes and everything.
And please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon.
Yeah, actually, thank you, Paridhi, that you did it for me. Please do subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon.